welcome to our product inspiration series for SAP Intelligent CX. My name is Kati, and today we have a special topic for you. Today we'll hear from Akshay about the new SAP Enterprise Service Management solution. Akshay, first of all, thanks a lot for taking the time today.
Thanks for having me, Kathy. I'm excited to be here and share more about SAP Enterprise Service Management.
Perfect. Let's jump right into it. SAP ESM basically is a holistic shared service engagement solution built on cloud-native technologies. Can you please describe why SAP customers should care about the new solution when it comes to finance and HR support processes?
Here are three main reasons, Kathy. Firstly, the product offers maximum automation and flexibility. This includes areas such as low-code, no-code configuration options, business flows and process orchestration, generative AI and machine learning use cases, and advanced analytics capabilities. We offer standard product capabilities for these topics and also leverage what the business technology platform has to offer. Generative AI is the new buzzword, and we have already implemented some applications of this, which you will see during my demo today. Secondly, we offer out-of-the-box integrations with SAP products. Currently, we integrate with SAP S/4HANA, ECC, and SuccessFactors. We plan to integrate with other SAP products soon. Finally, we offer pre-delivered scenarios for finance and HR lines of business to help our customers get up and running quickly.
Okay, thanks a lot. The scope of enterprise support processes is quite extensive. I would greatly appreciate it if you could provide some insights into the specific scenarios that our SAP ESM offers in the domains of finance and employee services.
That's a good question. We aim to build a solution with generic modules that can help our customers easily set up any end-to-end process. To demonstrate the product's potential, we have pre-delivered a couple of finance scenarios and a HR scenario. This includes invoice inquiry, payment advice posting, and general HR inquiry. We plan to deliver more such scenarios in the future for different lines of business in which SAP's solutions play a role. Additionally, we offer master data integrations for customers, suppliers, and employees with S/4HANA and ECC, as well as employee master data integration with SuccessFactors. These master data integrations serve as a backbone for setting up end-to-end processes.
All right, now that we have heard about why the solution is so critical to our customers and the scenarios it brings, let us finally turn towards readiness and customer adoption. How easy is it to implement the new SAP ESM solution, and where should our customers start?
All the configuration within Enterprise Service Management is no-code and can be completed with ease. We want to make sure that key business users in departments like finance and HR can manage their processes independently. At the end of my demo, I'm also going to highlight a few areas in our settings section to emphasize how easy the setup process is. To get started, I suggest customers analyze their current service delivery approach and decide which lines of business they want to streamline first with SAP Enterprise Service Management. Then, they should define the ideal state of their processes and realize it using ESM modules such as our case framework, forms, self-service, and business flows. To reduce costs and improve efficiency, I also recommend customers consider using our generative AI and machine learning use cases from the beginning.
Hi. In this video, we're going to be looking at a demo of SAP Enterprise Service Management, taking a HR scenario as an example. Let's look at a parental leave process end-to-end with stakeholders such as the employee initiating the request, the HR service agent that works on the request, and the manager of the employee that would have to approve the request. We're going to be looking at Mike Summers as the employee persona here, and Mike's journey would begin from the employee portal, in which he has access to perform a variety of tasks and also access resources that are available to him. Some of the quick actions that Mike would be able to perform from this portal would involve looking up an org chart or initiating some time off. For the sake of the demo today, we're looking at SAP Build Work Zone as the employee portal. Now, within this employee portal, Mike would also have access to an employee services section where he's presented with a wide variety of services that he can avail. There would also be knowledge base articles that provides him guidance on the steps that he would need to follow in order to avail those services. Embedded within this employee experience is the self-service application powered by SAP Enterprise Service Management. The self-service application would allow Mike to create cases, look at cases that he's already created, and make updates on them. For the demo today, Mike is going to be creating a parental leave request. Once Mike enters the subject, he would go ahead and select parental leave as the case type and also pick a category. Mike would enter a description for the case, and once he's completed the first step, he would move on to the second step. Now, a form is presented to Mike, which is tailored to the type of request he's trying to make. The form that's presented here would depend on the information that Mike filled in the first step and also Mike's profile. So let's say for a parental leave process, if a different form needs to be presented depending on the country that the employee is from or the region they belong to, you would be able to take advantage of employee information in order to determine the form that needs to be shown to the employee. And obviously, different case types and categories can have different forms that are shown. In this case, Mike sees the parental leave request form and he selects his leave start date and end date. He's going to go ahead and continue filling other information in the form. The form can have a wide variety of fields such as text boxes, drop downs, date fields, etc. It's also possible to control the properties of a field depending on other fields that might exist in the form. So you might want to show another additional dropdown depending on the value in a previous field. Once Mike has completed filling up all this information, he would review the request and go ahead and initiate the parental leave process. As we see here, case 13931 has been created. Mike is able to view that case on his list view. As and when the agent converses with Mike, all that information is going to be available to Mike in a timeline format. He's also able to add notes in order to communicate with the agent. The details of the case, such as the category and the case type, along with timestamp values, is displayed to Mike here. He's able to add or modify attachments, and the form that was filled by Mike in order to initiate the request is also visible to him. Now let's move on to see how it would look like for a HR service agent to process this request. Emma Sims is the HR service agent that would be working on the request that was initiated by Mike. Emma logs into SAP Enterprise Service Management, and on her home screen, she's presented with a couple of tiles that guide her to the cases that she should be working on for that particular day. Emma would click on the normal priority cases, and she would see case 13931 on the top of her list. This was the case that was initiated by Mike Summers. Emma navigates into that particular case, and on the left side of her screen, she receives the high-level details of the case, like its case type and category, also service level policy assigned to that case, and other basic case details. On the main screen, Emma is presented with a guided experience that presents Emma with a series of phases and steps that she would have to follow as she works towards resolving that particular case. Also, Emma is presented with all the information that Mike Summers filled out while raising that particular request. So as a part of this request, the first step is for Emma to validate the employee details. She sees that Mike Summers here is the one that requested for a parental leave, and Emma wants to validate if Mike Summers is a full-time or a part-time employee. So she clicks on the People Profile tab within the case, and once she does that, she's able to look at the people profile information from Employee Central. Over here, she sees all the details of Mike Summers, and here she's also able to validate if Mike Summers is a full-time or a part-time employee. Now, knowing that Mike Summers is a full-time employee, she's aware of what the parental leave request would entail. She can add notes to the case if required. Once this is completed, she would mark that particular step as done. In the second step, she's asked to collect issue details. In this scenario, Mike has provided enough information for Emma to go ahead and process that request. At the end of the first phase, Emma's asked to, enter a status and a priority for that particular case. She would mark this case as in process, and she would assign it a normal priority. In the second phase, Emma's initially suggested to review knowledge base articles. We've seen in this flow that Mike has reviewed articles on the employee portal and created the request based on that. So Emma wouldn't have to suggest KBA articles to Mike, and Emma would move on to the second step. In the second step, Emma is asked to send a letter to Mike Summers through Docusign so that Mike Summers can initiate the parental leave process formally. This letter would have to include all the information that's already collected from Mike Summers. Emma can make any changes if required, and once the necessary changes are done, Emma can go ahead and initiate the Docusign process. So once initiated, Mike would receive an email asking him to e-sign the Docusign letter. I've now switched to Outlook to show you what it is for Mike Summers to sign that document. We've just taken Docusign as an example, but you could use any other system in order to process these documents. Mike would click on Review Document, and through Docusign's interface, he would be able to see the letter. This letter would include information from the case, the information that Mike had filled in the past. So we're able to pass information from the case in the form to systems such as Docusign so that it can be presented to other stakeholders. Now, once Mike has reviewed this information, he would be able to go ahead and sign this document and click on Submit. Once Mike Summers submits the Docusign document, Emma would receive an update. She can also go to the general section within case and would see that as an attachment to the case itself. So Emma is able to preview the document, and once validated, she can mark that particular step as completed. Now, as a final step in this particular process, Emma is asked to send this request for an approval. Just like the previous action button we'd seen to initiate the Docusign request, Emma can also click on a button to send this request for an approval to the manager of Mike Summers. So once this approval has been initiated, the manager of Mike Summers would receive an request on their SuccessFactors portal to approve this parental leave request. Switching over to SuccessFactors, we are in the homepage of Kate Jacobs, the manager of Mike Summers. Now, Kate on her homepage sees the approval request for Mike Summers. It includes the duration of the parental leave and other information pertaining to that particular request. Kate also receives a notification, and she's now able to take action on this. So in this case, let's assume that Kate is going to approve the request and add a few comments as well. Once Kate approves the parental leave request, Emma is notified and the case is automatically moved to a completed status. That particular parental leave request is also posted in Mike's profile as time off. Now the process is completed end to end. Emma can just validate if the right status is updated, and she can go ahead and finish the process. Emma would want to send out an email to Mike Summers letting him know that his request is being processed. She simply clicks on the email section, selects the from email address, and in order to help her draft an email response, she takes advantage of a generative AI use case that SAP Enterprise Service Management has to offer. Emma would simply have to select one of the available prompts, adjust the text preferences, and generate a prompt. Based on the prompt that's suggested, Emma can make necessary changes and go ahead and send out this email to Mike Summers. This is just one of the generative AI use cases. We also offer a few other generative AI and machine learning use cases with SAP Enterprise Service Management, including automatically categorizing cases, determining case types, and also summarizing the case if it had a lengthy description. Before I wrap up the demo, I want to focus on a couple of options in an admin panel in order to show you how easy it is to configure a process in the system. Let's start off by looking at the case designer. I'm going to search for the parental leave case type that exists in the system. And as you see here, you can have multiple versions. I'm opening the latest version, which is currently in a draft status. Once I navigate to the case flow, I'll be able to see the different phases and steps that have been configured for this particular process. Now, let's say we want to include a second level approval to this process. You can simply click on Add Step, and the different actions that can be performed would be listed here. I'm going to go ahead and select Approval, and I'm going to call it Second Level Approval. I've already configured an approval rule for this, so I'm including this within the flow. It's also possible to include preconditions. So let's say a specific set of conditions have to be met before the step can be completed. It's also possible to configure that in the system. You can simply click on Create and reorder it as required. So it's that easy to make changes to the flow. Let's also look at how easy it is to create forms in the system. So we had a form that was helping us capture information from the employee in terms of understanding the parental leave request details. So in this case, I'm navigating to the parental leave form, and I'm again going to open the one that's currently in draft status. As you see here, I have a set of fields. Now let's say I want to include an additional field in my form, and it's going to be called multiple births. I can just drag and drop it. Multiple properties can be selected for a particular field. Let's say it can be marked as required, read-only, or hidden. These can also depend on other case fields or form fields. For example, let's say a particular field needs to be visible based on another case field. I can simply come here and say that this field is visible only if, for example, category level 1 equals a particular value. So it's that easy for me to create conditions in the form designer. This brings me to the end of my demo. Just to summarize, we've seen a parental leave process end-to-end involving different stakeholders. The journey started from an employee portal, and we'd taken SAP Workzone as the employee portal for this demo. We'd seen how a HR service agent can use Enterprise Service Management to work through the parental leave process. We'd also seen how external systems such as Docusign and SuccessFactors can be involved either to receive approvals or to get signatures from employees. Thank you.
Welcome to the world of SAP Intelligent CX. Our comprehensive suite of applications seamlessly integrates front-end and back-end systems, providing a unified and streamlined approach to managing customer interactions. We incorporate artificial intelligence that allows your team to work smarter and faster, and our industry-tailored use cases and partner ecosystem empowers organizations to deliver extraordinary experiences, build lasting relationships, and drive sustainable growth. Our composable SAP Customer Experience Suite enables leading brands to understand and protect customer data, increase lifetime value with personalized journeys, close more business faster, drive consistently profitable commerce outcomes, and deliver automated and agent-assisted service. Learn how you can deliver extraordinary customer experiences. Visit sap.com/cx.